Hey everybody, here's a couple of the steps about how to create one of these digital breakouts if you're interested. I'm also going to share in the email a link to some podcasts from other teachers who have used them, the one that you kind of listen to actually in our scavenger hunt. So like you can see, and you guys remember, it's a Google form. And the difference what you're going to do at the bottom of each of them is that instead of going from that it's all built into one document, you put sections in between each question. And the sections will then force the user to be able to click on the next button. All you have to then be able to do is change the answer to a thing called a response validation, which forces only the correct answer will let you get to the next section. So for example, here was the one when we started, you had your question that goes in there, and we had to type in the word, and the word was yes. So if you hit on that and it's the correct one, it will then automatically take you to the next one. So let me show you how I built them. I don't actually build it directly in a Google form. I build it in another document first. That way I can edit and tweak it, and it's much easier. I like using Google Slides, and so as you can see here, I have a slide for each one. Like here's the one I did for take off. Here's the one about the word yes, and so forth. So like, for example, let's say if I wanted to do one about the weight room, I wrote my little clue that goes here. So there's the text, and I can put, there's the answer that I'm going to have. The answer is going to be strength. That was the banner that was above the weight room. So let's say I'm going to go get that, get all that text. I'm going to highlight all of that and copy it. Then I'm going to go over here to my form, create myself a new form, and I'm going to call this one a demo scavenger hunt. And now the question. So if I go down here to the question you're always going to want to be able to select and make it a short answer question. Once you come into here, where's the question? Now I'm going to paste the answer in there. Oh, you can see one of the problems that that you may have is the spacing. So you can't necessarily force enters in there. So it's a little bit wonky dealing with the text in here. And what you can do is you can add image. You can put an image in if you want. And so that's actually what I did, is I put screenshots of them. But probably the easiest just putting them in as text. So here's the short answer of the text, and then now down here on the bottom is where we bring up that response validation. First off, I'm going to require that and make this a question they have to do, but the real magic is these three dots right here. When I click on that, here is what I want, response validation. And now I have a couple, some options. Is this going to be a number I'm going to select, or it can be a text, length, regular expression? You can play with these, but the two that I basically used was give me an exact number or give me a piece of text. So for this one, stronger and faster, the word was going to be strength. So I'm going to say I want this to be text. Then what type of text do I want? You can have these different sort of things. I want this text to contain, and what is the word? I'm going to say it has to have strength. And like I told you all, this is cap sensitive, so you probably want to be able to let them know, and I find it easiest to just do all caps. And then what would happen if they get the wrong thing? You can leave it blank, or you can say something. So I just put try again on all of them. And if you wanted, you can make it specific. You can give clues in there if they did get something wrong. Anyway, and so that's the essence of what it is, and now that's done. So if I want to do a next question, instead of doing a question, I need to put a break between it, or a section. So I'm going to say add a section. It doesn't have to have a name in there. Then I go down to add another question. And so from now here is, let's say I wanted to be able to put a math question in there. So I'll go back over to here. And here was the one I got from the website. Had you be able to look at all those things like the languages. So I'm going to highlight all of that text. Here was the math I put for myself in the bottom. So I know that we have 13 of the languages times 11 math classes. I'm sorry, plus 11 math classes times 2.0 GPA. So I know that the answer is going to be 48. So if I go back over to here, here's my question. I'll paste that in there. And then turn this into, by the way, we need that a short answer. And required, this time again, response validation. So now instead of text, this one I'm going to do number. And in order to get the exact number, you're going to want to put equal to, and that we said was 48. And if they don't get it correct, try again. And in essence, that's what it is. And so now if I can go back over at the top, and I'll hit preview and say stronger and faster, the athletes work in the space, and the banner outside speaks of the goal they all chase, and that would be strength. Let's pretend I misspell that and see what happens. And you can see it messes up. So if you spell it correctly and I hit next, then it takes you to the next one. And you can put in a number here that doesn't work, and it gives try again. or you can put in the number, and that I believe was 48. And then submit. And this, instead of going to next, because this is where it would end, but you can continue to put more in there. And after that, just sort of get creative. If you guys have any questions and you need some more assistance, feel free to reach out to me. And if you make one, let me know. That'd be love to be able to see some of the examples that your kids do. Anyway, thanks everybody.